shall we go? So in 2 minutes I will be discussing that debt to GDP ratio wala, though we will be covering these things in the detailed debt management, FRBM, encasing committee, everything you will be provided in Indian economy, so no need to worry about it. चलिए, तो ये रहा, आप लोगों में से ही ने एक पूछा था. So we have here, is screen visible? Can you see what is written? So there was a question going on in the NviNomics group that I saw. We have a group, different separate group, but in one group I found, and this question is very genuine, and this question will be helpful for everyone. Either you are preparing for UGC NET exam, IES examination, इस तरह के questions interview में direct पूछते हैं. Specifically RBI interview, though this question was asked in CUT group, right? So I thought of taking, and this is very good question. If I am audible, please एक बार chat में लिख देंगे yes sir you are audible. तो यहाँ पे question है, Shiv is asking कि sir, could government spending in subsidies and freebies increase GDP debt to ratio? देखिए सिंपल है, दो चीजें हैं. पहले तो आपको जीडीपी पकड़ना होगा. जीडीपी क्या होता है हमारा? C प्लस I प्लस G प्लस NX, नेट एक्सपोर्ट. तो डायरेक्टली इफ यू सी, फर्स्ट थिंग, इफ यू सी डायरेक्टली हियर यू हैव जीडीपी. जीडीपी आपका बढ़ेगा यहां से, राइट? बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट एक्सपेंडिचर जो है, not the part of this all these things, but subsidies and freebies are directly affecting our consumption part. तो C हमारा बढ़ रहा है, तो टोटल Y यह बढ़ेगा. बट हमारा क्वेश्चन कुछ और था. he is asking countries debt to GDP ratio, यहां DPT लिखा गया है, countries, ठीक है, DEBT, debt to GDP रेशियो, राइट? यही एक क्वेश्चन एकदम बेसिक है, इसका जवाब तो सिंपल. डेट अगर है, देखिए चीजें क्या होती है, गवर्नमेंट क्या करती है, डायरेक्टली दे विल नॉट से द डेट. इफ यू आर गिवन 100 crore ऑफ बजट, ठीक है, इन 100 crore यू आर सपोज टू मेक बिल्डिंग्स, स्कूल्स, कॉलेजेस, हॉस्पिटल्स एंड ऑल द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर थिंग, एंड आउट ऑफ 100 crore व्हाट यू डिड, 20 crore you spent on the freebies and other things, right? जो भी पॉपुलिस्ट पॉलिसीज हैं, चाहे आप फ्री में अनाज बांट दो, चाहे फ्री में कपड़े बांट दो, चाहे फ्री में लैपटॉप बांट दो, व्हाटसोएवर, 20 crore. So rest 20 crore, and this 20 crore, suppose that you are not showing as the part of freebies, you are showing as a part of developmental projects, but the budget which were already allocated for the different ministries or departments for the infrastructural project as a part of government expenditure, so there we will have shortfall of 20 crore and we will be having just 80 crore rupees. तो अब तो यहाँ पे हमारा 20 crore का डिफिसिट हो गया. So rather than showing directly this 20 crore, so this extra 20 crore we have to borrow, right? Either internally or externally. Externally usually foreign countries से, World Bank से, but कभी कभी बॉन्ड वगैरह इशू करके हम डायरेक्टली इंटरनली बोरो करते हैं. बिग बिजनेसमैन जी जो भी हैं, अदानी हो, अंबानी हो, अग्रवाल जी हो, लॉट्स ऑफ इंटरनली हो, चाहे गवर्नमेंट फ्लोट करती है मार्केट में बॉन्ड्स पब्लिक बोरोइंग के लिए. तो वी पीपल बाय द बॉन्ड, give money to the government, and government spend this 20 crore to the project developments. तो direct answer यहाँ पे क्या आया? Yes. So here you will say yes. So if there is a more expenditure of government on these things which is not directly productive for the growth of economy, so yes, there will be rise in debt to GDP ratio. Even your GDP grows by suppose that 5 crore. Suppose that 5 crore से जीडीपी बढ़ा, but your debt is increasing by 20 crore. तो all together क्या हुआ हमारा? डेट तो अधिक हो गया ना? Are you understanding? Suppose that डेट आपका बढ़ गया 20%, right? और जो जीडीपी है आपका वह 20% से अगर बढ़ता, then we can say it's fine. But अगर आपका जीडीपी 20% से नहीं बढ़ा है, then it is really worrisome for the government. So in one line, I would like to simply conclude that yes, it affects debt to GDP ratio, because same expenditure which we have spent here could have been invested on the productive things, which could have give a great boost to our GDP. Sir, in finance, it will increase the revenue expenditure. That's why increase in debt as a whole. Yes, Siv, I got your point. So we have not covered this, I mean public finance. So from the basic layman point of view, I thought of teaching you these things. So one we will be covering budget के different types, expenditure के different types, public finance, public expenditure, public debt. So everything will be covered. Then you will have better and sound idea about all these things. So hello Gaurav, क्या हाल है? Siv, does it make sense? Is it clear to everyone? तो yes. So debt to GDP ratio आपका बढ़ेगा यहाँ से. Why? Because you are somehow managing, debt to finance your expenditure which was supposed to be financed for the infrastructural or developmental projects. Is it clear to everyone? Ab koi doubt? So yes, these things are actually unnecessary burden from the finance expenditure point of view, from the public expenditure point of view. So there are, if you see these days, lots of things have actually changed. पहले क्या था, developmental and non-developmental, प्रोडक्टिव और लेस, लाइक फ्रीबीज को हम डायरेक्ट प्रोडक्टिव नहीं बोलते हैं और डायरेक्ट अनप्रोडक्टिव भी नहीं बोल सकते हैं, क्योंकि वहां पे गवर्नमेंट में फिर पब्लिक में एक रोज पैदा हो जाएगा कि सर दीज आर also important for the welfare and all. So sometimes we follow mixed economy, and mixed economy has mainly welfare government. So these are the part of welfare, and it is also a good sign if you have a deficit budget. So deficit budget is a good sign for the welfare economy, right? We all have mostly deficit budget. हम पढ़ेंगे फाइनेंस, डेफिसिट, प्राइमरी डेफिसिट, ये सब हम पढ़ेंगे, फिस्कल डेफिसिट, राइट? सो वी विल बी, चलिए, ऑल द बेस्ट, गुड नाइट, बाय बाय, टेक केयर, प्लीज फिनिश द बैकलॉग लेक्चर्स, विल मीट यू डे आफ्टर टुमारो एट द सेम टाइम. चलो गाइस, बाय बाय.